Alright, so listen up. Most people, or let me say most men, we're either suppressing our emotions or letting them consume us. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to stop doing both, because neither of that is leading. But I get it. A lot of the stuff that we've been taught comes from the people that were trying to figure it out before us. Unfortunately, we're starting to see the cracks. It's showing and it's clear that things need to change. I want to talk about a character that you may know, especially if you clicked on the thumbnail, by the way. And I may say it wrong, and if you guys, the anime guys, want to come for me, listen, hey, I only watched it once, right? His name is Son Jin-woo, or Son Jin-ho. And this guy literally became, obviously, some of you know the story already, but for the guys that don't, right, I'm very big on anime and I recommend everyone should be watching it. Yeah, anyways, that's my personal opinion. But let's talk about him, right? So he was this guy that basically had zero recognition. He was the bottom of the bottom. He was at level 0, if there was levels to this. And he fought his way up. And what stood out to me in particular, what I learned from him, was the fact that this man turned his challenges and the people that he was fighting, every single person that he challenged, that he conquered and killed, whatever the case is, became his soldier. And that led me into understanding how I felt about my emotions. I hated my emotions because they were always beating me up. You see, a lot of us are not realizing that our emotions are in the same way the very challenges that we're facing on a daily basis, because they come at us, we don't know what to do with them, and then when they come, bang, they either consume you or you suppress them thinking that you've won against them. And you see, just like Jin-woo, when you don't recruit them or you don't turn them into your personal soldiers, but you're just wasting energy away, and then you're gonna have to fight the same battle with someone with some sort of higher challenges without the strength you could have gained had you mastered your emotion or recruited your emotions or basically commanded your emotions. So you, in other words, want to turn every single challenge you're going through into something that you can learn from and then recruit into your arsenal, right? So now you've gone through anger or frustration in a specific environment. Now you can turn that into a lesson for not just yourself but someone else. That is literally everything I do. Every single challenge I face, I turn into a lesson that I'm sharing with you guys. But most importantly, I turn into a lesson that I can learn for myself. So as much as I read 3 books a week or a book every 2 days or whatever the case is, honestly, most of my insights, and part of the reason why I can share it with you like this, is because it came from turning my pain into a lesson. Not letting it consume me, not suppressing like it acted like it didn't exist. And this is what we have. We have blue pill, red pill, right? What do you think that is? One person is suppressing and acting like being good is going to reward them eventually one day, so they get used, abused and manipulated. And on the other side has been consumed by anger, so they're so angry they can't even see anything else anymore. And here we are, the people that are tuning into this video, understanding how to outsmart the both camps and turn themselves into men that can actually lead and get the best of both worlds. Because guess what? As a simp, you get to be the good guy you always wanted to be. As the red pill, you get to set the boundaries. But this is why they both have valid points. It's just about understanding that one extreme doesn't work and so does not does the other. It's about understanding how to integrate the good things from both camps and turning it into this new movement. That actually, let's go back to Son Jin-woo, right? He turned fear into focus, anger into fuel, and grief became grit. You see, in one of the passages, before he transformed, he went through the darkest time he ever faced, as a human being. They met this demon god who was going to rip them apart and was toying with them, and he managed to create a path for everybody else to be saved but himself. And when they left him behind, the story goes into understanding. This is I may be spoiling it for you, but you should have watched it. It's been out for years now, I think. Yeah, but this is the moment where everything changes. And just like him, in your case and scenario, you may be going through a very dark moment. Same for me, right? It was the depression that turned me into who I am today. If not for my depression, I would have carried on pretending that I could suppress everything, or I could turn myself into this cold guy that didn't need to handle himself. I tried both camps, and this is why I can tell you they both don't work. Right? I was the simp. I have sent money to girls and was in a vulnerable state. Right? I've also been the cold-hearted red pill prick. Right? The guy that was able to sleep with as many women as he wanted. And I'm telling you, they both leave you unintegrated. You're out here trying to stay calm while life is kicking your head in. And I'm here to tell you that until you learn how to direct your chaos, that's just going to keep happening. We've been told that as long as you suppress your emotions and your emotions don't lead you, you're in control. And I'm here to tell you that unfortunately, suppressing your emotions is not control. Suppressing your emotion is like, imagine there's a dog barking at the door and it's like bam, bam, bam. And then you just close the door and say, we're good now. As soon as you go back outside, unless the dog has left, you're in big trouble. Now let's make it worse. Guess what? The dog is inside the building and you've got to get inside the building in order for you to get inside the house. So you locking the door and leaving the dog in doesn't solve anything. But a lot of us somehow think that suppressing our emotions solves our ability to command them or control them. Your emotions are bullying you if you can't confront them. That's a bar, write that down. Your emotions are bullying you if you can't control them. So, you see, mastery isn't gained by peace through avoidance. Mastery is gained through the fire, through the challenge, through the conquering, through the subduing of the very thing that was dragging you and pulling you into corners or spaces that you did not want to be in. Okay? So, I need you to understand that until you recruit these troops, you're going to carry on wasting energy away. Alright? And what I want you to do is turn your emotions into your weapons. Turn it into your artillery. You see, a lot of us are taught that emotions are soft. I'm here to tell you that emotions are weapons. You just need to learn how to use them. They're a double-edged sword, yes, because they can consume you. They can turn you into someone you don't even recognize, absolutely. But they can be also one of the biggest allies you can have in your arsenal, right? So let's talk about it. Anxiety, right? Let's turn that into precision. Turn your frustration into boundaries. Turn your heartbreak into purpose. Why do you think I'm here today? It's not because I'm happily ever married after. Yeah, of course, that's a consequence. But that's the consequence of me figuring out my purpose. And that purpose came from pain. The pain gained allowed me to gain the clarity to understand what it is I want and what it is I don't want. And I want a good family. I want a healthy home. I want a good wife. I want a solid relationship with my children. I want a heavy legacy that empowers men to become the very best version of themselves by giving them everything I know and I've learned. So, am I living in my purpose right now? Do I feel fulfilled? Absolutely. This is why I can show up with 2 views, 3 views. I don't care. It's not up to me. When they catch on, they'll realize that I've been here this whole time. This is why I'm appreciating you guys for tuning in. But honestly speaking, I got a call the other day and speaking to one of my potential clients, and the guy was like, your videos are sick and the views are just not doing it justice. And I said, I know. I know. I'm not forced. Why? Because I know that I'm ahead of time, but I also know that this here is what a lot of people need. And once they're in. Well, anyways, you see, once you make peace with your darkness and you recruit it into one of your troops, I'm telling you, you can never ever be destroyed ever again. Because you have now honed the ability, and I'm so excited for you watching this video and staying this long, but once you have recruited your darkness, someone asked me, why do I talk about the dark masculine? You see, the dark masculine is that dark, the dark commander, right? The commander that's been protecting you this whole time. The commander that's been saying, listen, you gotta walk away from this place. Or you've got to set your boundaries, you got to be certain. And then the light masculine is the person that's able to nurture, look after the people you love. Sacrifice. Once you integrate these two into one, my friend, I'm so happy you've watched this video to this point. Because you just completed and understood how to integrate yourself fully. Right? But you are undirected and it's time for you to lead yourself. Now, if you want to understand exactly, if you're an entrepreneur or a founder and want to understand exactly how I do it for the people I work with, 6-7 figures entrepreneurs, right? Drop me a message and I'll show you exactly how that's done. You can either message me on Instagram or book a call below. The link is in the description. But if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It helps this channel so much. My aim ideally is to be able to do this full time for you guys, and right now we're very far from it. So if you've been tuning in and not subscribing, please subscribe, because this helps me a lot in not just focusing on helping you guys, but sharpening everything. I'll be honest, I am trying is the wrong word. I am constantly sharpening myself because this is personal to me. I want to become the best version I can be. I'm here to master myself. So if you're like me in this journey, connect on Instagram, drop me a message, we can talk. Even you don't have to be a client, you can just say, hey, listen, I really fuck with your content and whatever the case is. But yeah, cool. Listen, so emotional mastery, I hope you've learned today that emotional mastery is something that you must conquer to activate your full strength. I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.